What is up, theme park hipster? Welcome back to this channel where today we're going to go over 13 incredible tips that you must have for your Animal Kingdom trip. Now you can use this on your solo trip, or if you are deciding to hit it up with friends or families. The good thing is that we're going to get started right away today. But before we get started right away, be sure to like this video. That way others can find this type of information to help them plan their trip just like you. All right, guys, let's dive right in. Before I get into those 13 tips, I want to first talk about flight of passage. Yes, that big elephant in the room, because no tip guide can be great if you don't tell me how to get on a ride without waiting for 2-3 hours. So we're gonna do that today. And in case you can't get a FastPass for some reason that Disney says we're just not doing it, or you have to pay for FastPasses, you're gonna need some backup plans. So my first tip regarding the flight of passage way of not waiting is to first get to the park early, about an hour before it even opens. Now, this does not include any kind of early or extra magic hours. Say, for instance, if Animal Kingdom is having an early magic hour day at 8 a.m., good for you guys who get to take advantage if Disney brings it back. But good for you guys, because you can get there before the extra magic hour starts and get on a flight of passage and be done. But let's just say you are not staying in any on-site resort and you still want to get on that flight of passage. What I would do is, in the case that Disney does bring back the early magic hours, is that I would choose my day at Animal Kingdom to be on a day that Animal Kingdom is not having any extra magic hours. So say, for instance, Animal Kingdom is like, we're opening up at 9 a.m. that day. No early, nothing. It's 9 a.m. What you want to do is get there and be at least parking, or at least getting off your tram or getting on your tram at 8 a.m. I know that's kind of ridiculous, but I'm just trying to help you with a nice trip. So I'm going to help you guys with the best tips that I know. This is going to give you time to go through security and go from that walk of the front gate all the way to the back, or well, it's not really back, but all the way to the Pandora side of Animal Kingdom and get queued up for the line. Now, they may not allow you to get in the queue yet, but at least you'll be there whatever time it is. So that's tip number one for not waiting for flight of passage. The next tip I have is to wait towards the end of the night. Now, you want to get here before the park closes. You might want to get there maybe like an hour to 30 minutes before the park closes. Now, the wait time might be ridiculous, but most of the time when you walk in that line before the park closes, it's a different story. It might say, hey, the wait time is 45 minutes, 60 minutes, 120 minutes, but sometimes, you know, they might be discouraging you. I'm not saying they're doing that. I'm just saying. But anyways, you might get in there and see that it was only a 30-minute wait. So that's another way that you can wait for the flight of passage. But just keep in mind that if you do wait towards the end of the night, and this is your only trip to Animal Kingdom, you do run the risk of, if anything happens, say the ride shuts down, or say cast members are no longer allowing any more people on the ride. So that's kind of one of the risks that you have to take in account when you do that tip. All right, now that we have everything we need to know about the flight of passage out of the way, and I know I didn't talk about Navi River journey, but usually that line is not going to be as bad as flight of passage. And if you're getting there early and you have knocked out the flight of passage within the first 30 minutes to an hour of park opening, by the time you get to Navi River journey, you're going to be okay with the line. It's not going to be too crazy. So let's just get into those 13 basic tips for Animal Kingdom. The first tip is to take a break inside the Tree of Life. Yes, you may not know this, but that beautiful, majestic Tree of Life that is the icon for Animal Kingdom, there is an attraction inside. It's called the Bug's Life. And you go in there, relax, cool off, chill, and I think it's a pretty cool show. A lot of kids are kind of iffy with it because of some of the special effects, like feeling like bugs crawling on you, it can't get to you. But other than that, it's Florida, it's hot, we have more hot days than we have cold days. So that is my place to go for me to relax and chill out and enjoy a great show. Now, if you get out of there and you're not ready to kind of face the Florida sun, or you're still kind of chilling, then Explore the tree itself. If you go around the tree, you'll notice that there are different unique animals carved inside of the tree, and it's just a great place to get some great photos. And there are other exploration trails around there where you can see some different types of animals. They kind of change them up, so maybe you might see some birds, some different type of exotic birds or anything like that on those exploration trails around Animal Kingdom's tree life. My next tip is to visit Pandora at night. Yes, we got there early and got on Flight of Passage, but this area is a total different feel and vibe at nighttime. It is basically like the land comes alive. It's like you can feel it breathing. You can feel the ground. I don't know what Imagineering did, but the lighting, the sounds, the music, the atmosphere, the nature, it just feels like a total different area of the park than when you get there early in the morning. So definitely do that. If you have a really good camera, I know sometimes iPhones are tripping with that nighttime camera. It's got a little better, but if you have a really good camera, those photos are going to be so incredible. My next tip for you is to ride Kilimanjaro Safari in the morning. I recommend this because, one, the morning time, the animals are a little bit livelier. I know sometimes some animals are more livelier at nighttime, but I found that you can see more, you can get those better photo opportunities in the morning time, and that's just been my personal experience. Plus, I've been on towards evening coming near, and it is just hard to see things. I don't really see as many animals. I'm pretty sure they're still there, maybe they're not, but I don't really get that same vibe, especially in the morning. And this ride, queue line, gets crazy. You think Flight of Passage, I mean, Flight of Passage is the craziest, but the safari ride is just as crazy. So if you can knock it out within the morning time, and plus it's not going to be so hot because you are on like a safari truck. There's no AC, so keep that in mind. The next tip is to ride Rafiki's little train. If you are in the Harambe section, or if you're getting off of the safari ride, right next to the safari ride is Rafiki's train ride that'll take you over to Rafiki's Planet Watch. Hopefully it's still here. You know, a lot of times when I'm bringing this information to you, Disney is changing stuff all the time, but hopefully Rafiki's Planet Watch is not one of them things that gets axed, because when you're over there, you can see what the veterinarians and what the animal specialists are doing to care for the animals on site. You might even see an operation. There are so many unique things there. There's a petting zoo there. You can take animation classes there. These are some of the things that if you don't know someone to tell you about this, you would skip this adventure. You would skip this whole experience. So definitely head over to Rafiki's Planet Watch. And I just pray that it doesn't go away because I really love that area. And it's just a nice little getaway area, a little away from the park, and you can kind of relax there. My next tip is to have lunch at the Yak and Yeti, and not necessarily the restaurant, but the counter service outside, which is adjacent to the restaurant. Now, if you don't want to try to do all that reservation stuff and try to get in there, you can just go to the counter service. They have some really good fried rice that is just as big as a whole meal. I think it could come as like an appetizer or something, but you could do that. You could also they have this Korean beef hot dog. It is so good. They change stuff all the time at Animal Kingdom. I hate that about Animal Kingdom because they have some of the best snacks. But man, the window of opportunity to get that snack or that counter service item is very slim. So I hope they still have that hot dog there. That's one of my favorite treats there. You can do that. They also have like a nice little shaded covering for you to dine and enjoy your food with some views, some really nice views. So I love that Yak and Yeti counter service. My next tip for you is to ride Expedition Everest at nighttime. Yes, you definitely, if you can get there in the daytime, get that daytime ride-in, just so you can get your ride-in before the line gets crazy. And another tip I have for you, if you are skipping out on Flight of Passage, I would recommend just heading straight to the back of the park and getting on Expedition Everest. You're not going to have a wait at all. Not wait. No wait. I promise you. Yes, I promise you. I was second guessing, but yeah, but back to the nighttime ride. There's nothing like riding a roller coaster at nighttime. And Expedition Everest is one of those top roller coasters that you want to ride at nighttime because of not only the theming, but the theming kind of enhances that nighttime vibe. The ride feels like it's way faster than it really is. And then there are some parts where you don't know if you went inside the mountain or if you outside. It's an incredible experience. I also recommend, if you can, now, you know, I get it if you don't want to be waiting in line, but if you can, try to wait in the regular queue if the line isn't too long. The stories, the theming in that queue, that's one of the best queues at Walt Disney World. My next tip for you is to don't miss out on the exploration trails. Like, they're so relaxing. And this is one of those things that if you are traveling solo, you're gonna want to do. It's harder in the heat, yes, but if you are going to Walt Disney World anytime on those perfect Florida days, late November to about, I don't know, early April to late April, then you're definitely going to want to do those exploration trails. You can find them in Asia and in Africa, and that's where you can go through and discover all of the exotic animals, because you know Animal Kingdom is like the place to be, that's filled with so many animals, filled to the brim. My next tip for you is to enjoy some of the reenactment live shows. Now, what I mean by that is that you're going to want to check out some of the best shows at Animal Kingdom, such as the Finding Nemo musical, or the best show, hands down, which is the Lion King show. Now, the Lion King show is so incredible that this is one of those must-dos that you have to do at Walt Disney World. Not only is the singing incredible, but you have to think about some of the performance, the acrobatics. There's a fireman, breather type person in the show, and I don't want to ruin the whole show for you in case you haven't watched it, but these are some of the best things to do while you're at Animal Kingdom, and these are some of the best live shows that you're going to get at any theme park in the world. Now, this is another place that you can take a break from the Florida sun, so if anything, definitely add the Lion King show to your list, and Finding Nemo is also a good option, but if I had to pick between the two, then I would go with the Lion King show. My next tip for you is to get an adult cocktail from one of the best kept secrets on Walt Disney World property. This is the Nomad Lounge. When I think about the Nomad Lounge, I just get happy. I get all giddy inside. I love the Nomad Lounge. And this is the lounge right before you head over the bridge to Pandora. You can find this lounge. It is adjacent to Tiffin's, another favorite restaurant of mine at Animal Kingdom, and perfect for adult solo travelers. But the Nomad Lounge here is such an inviting atmosphere. You get the stories of the Imagineers going across the globe to collect all these items for the Animal Kingdom, and in that collection they get all these stories, so you can find that energy and that vibe in Nomad Lounge. I love the cast members here. I have been pretty lucky to meet some outstanding cast members who just take the service and take your experience up a notch. And that's just one thing. The food are, they're just tapas type of food, but they're food that you will enjoy. And I'll definitely leave a link to this video on my visit to the Nomad Lounge, kind of give you an overview of the food and what to expect. Next to the food, which you have to get those truffle fries. Yes, the truffle fries. And they have like these sliders. I think they're beef sliders, but I don't know. They taste so good to me. But next to that, you're gonna want to try the cocktails. The cocktails are what make the Nomad Lounge. There are so many. I can't really give you my favorite because I don't have a favorite there, because I love most of them. So you definitely have to get out there and explore Nomad Lounge for yourself. And if you're not into cocktails and all that stuff, just get the food, get you a nice mocktail drink with no alcohol, and enjoy the outdoor seating. The patio is overlooking like this nice lagoon. It also overlooks the bridge going over to Pandora. And if you're like me, I just like to sit inside the restaurant, but if it's a cool day, I will be out there. Guys, if you don't do anything at Animal Kingdom and you're an adult traveler, you're going solo or you're going with friends, go to Nomad Lounge and thank me later. The next tip I have for you is to play some carnival games. I know, it's so corny, but it's a lot of fun. If you go over to Dinoland, U.S.A. is towards the back of the park. There you can get on the ride Dinosaur, but after you get off Dinosaur, go over to those carnival rides and enjoy them. They're a lot of fun. They are your standard carnival rides, but it's something when you combine carnival games, not rides, games, with the Disney vibe, then it makes it feel special. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. While you're there, definitely get on Primeval World. I know people got their mixed emotions about it. I like it. It's a little jerky, but it's still a lot of fun. I like that area of the park, and I don't think it gets a lot of recognition. If you ever do some digging into Disney history and some of the secrets at Walt Disney World, you'll learn that there are a lot of stories around Animal Kingdom, especially if you go to Restaurantosaurus. That's a whole thing. Go look at the walls, look at the items that they have on the walls. They're telling a story. Just know, when Disney does something, it's not by chance. There's always a story behind it. My next tip for you is to meet Minnie and Mickey Mouse. Here at Animal Kingdom, you're gonna see Minnie and Mickey Mouse in some different type of outfits. They're gonna be more on the safari wild side, and you can only find that at Animal Kingdom. Now, right now, we know with everything going on, character meet and greets, it's gonna be a little bit different. And so you're just gonna have to kind of like just check out the website and see how things change as we progress throughout the years. But you're definitely gonna wanna see Mickey and Minnie at Animal Kingdom. My next tip for you is to remember that some attractions do close early. The thing with having a theme park that has animals involved with it is that a lot of the attractions that do have animals involved, where you're kind of up close, they do close early, such as Rafiki's Planet Watch, and some of the exploration trails that we mentioned early. And on rare occasions, the ride Dinosaur might go down a little earlier, but that's something that you have to think about. My last and final tip for you is to just have fun. I mean, you're at Animal Kingdom, you're at Walt Disney World. This Animal Kingdom theme park is not the most popular one among the Disney theme parks, but I think this is something that you have to give a chance. Have fun, take these tips, make the most of your time in your day, and just enjoy the process. Don't try to overthink things. Don't try to make things too perfect. And I promise you will have a great day if you just go with the flow, have an itinerary, have some type of plan, but don't be like strictly by it. And definitely take breaks. I'm going back to that tip because it's Florida summer right now. It's hot. But those are all my tips for visiting Animal Kingdom, and I would love to help you on your solo travel adventure. So if you have any questions, feel free to join us over on the Theme Park Hipsters Facebook group. Ask questions there, keep the conversation going, help people if you have been on a solo trip before, or if you know some really good Disney tips. We would definitely appreciate you coming into our community. Until next time, happy park hopping hipsters.